The Villisca axe murders occurred between the evening of June 9, 1912 and the early morning of June 10, 1912 in the town of Villisca, Iowa. The 6 members of the Moore family and 2 house guests were found bludgeoned in the Moore residence. All 8 victims, including 6 children, had severe head wounds from an axe. A lengthy investigation yielded several suspects, one of whom was tried twice. The first trial ended in hung jury, and the second ended in an acquittal. The crime remains unsolved. The Moore family consisted of parents Joshua, 43, Sarah, 39, and their 4 children, Herman Montgomery, 11, Mary Catherine, 10, Arthur Lloyd, 7, and Paul Vernon, 5. An affluent family, the Moores were well known and well liked in their community. On June 9, 1912, Mary Catherine Moore invited Ina May, 8, and Lena Gertrude Stillinger, 12, to spend the night at the Moore residence. That evening, the visiting girls and the Moore family attended the Presbyterian church where they participated in the Children's Day program, which Sarah had coordinated. After the program ended at 9:30 p.m., the Moores and the Stillinger sisters walked to the Moores' house, arriving between 9:45 and 10 p.m. Around 7 a.m., June 10th, the next day, the Moores' neighbor became concerned after she noticed that the family had not come out to do their morning chores. She knocked on the Moores' door. When nobody answered, she tried to open the door and discovered that it was locked. She let the Moores' chickens out and called Ross Moore, Joshua's brother. He also received no response when he knocked on the door and shouted. Joshua's brother unlocked the front door with his copy of the house key, while the neighbor stood on the porch. Ross went into the parlor and opened the guest bedroom door, where he found Ina and Lena Stillinger's bodies on the bed. He immediately told the neighbor to call Henry Hank Horton, Villisca's primary peace officer, who arrived shortly thereafter. The peace officer's search of the house revealed that the entire Moore family and the Stillinger girls had been bludgeoned to death. The murder weapon, an axe belonging to Joshua, was found in the guest room where the Stillinger sisters were found. The coroner concluded that the murders had taken place between midnight and 5 a.m. 2 spent cigarettes in the attic suggested that the killer, or killers, patiently waited in the attic until the Moore family and the Stillinger guests were asleep. The killers began in the master bedroom where Joshua and Sarah Moore were sleeping. Joshua received more blows from the axe than any other victim. His face had been cut to such an extent that his eyes were missing. The killer or killers used the blade of the axe on Joshua while using the blunt end on the rest of the victims. Herman, Mary Catherine, Arthur, and Paul were next bludgeoned in the head in the same manner as their parents. Afterwards, the murderer returned to the master bedroom to inflict more blows on the elder Moores, knocking over a shoe that had filled with blood before moving downstairs to the guest bedroom and killing Ina and Lena. Investigators believe that all of the victims, except for Lena Stillinger, had been asleep when murdered. They thought that she was awake and tried to fight back, as she was found lying crosswise on the bed and with a defensive wound on her arm. Lena's nightgown was pushed up to her waist and she was wearing no undergarments, leading to law enforcement speculation that the killers or killer sexually molested her or attempted to do so. Over time, many possible suspects emerged, including Reverend George Kelly, Frank F. Jones, William Mansfield, Loving Mitchell, and Henry Lee Moore, who was of no relation to the Moore family. George Kelly was tried twice for the murder. The first ended in a hung jury, while the second trial ended in an acquittal. Other suspects in the investigation were also exonerated. In popular culture, the Moore House has been featured in many paranormal investigation television shows. This has led to more activity at the Moore House. People seeking to stay at the Moore House can pay anywhere from upwards to $400 or $500 to spend the night and see if they have any paranormal activity. One paranormal investigator stabbed himself in the chest while spending the night at the haunted Iowa house, made infamous for an unsolved axe murder 100 years ago that left 8 people, including 6 children, dead. Robert Lawson, Jr. ended his visit to the Villisca axe murder house in southwest Iowa early Friday with the critical stabbing injuries that the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office say were self-inflicted. The wood-framed home at 508 East 2nd Street in Villisca remains much the same as it did June 10, 1912. It is unclear how the 37-year-old man visiting from Remlander, Wisconsin, managed to stab himself, but authorities said he was there for a recreational paranormal investigation when cops got the call around 12:45 on November 7th, 2014. It's kind of shocking to wake up and hear that someone has nearly died at your tourist attraction, owner Martha Lynn told the Omaha World Herald. I'm absolutely sick about this. I'm practically in tears. I can't imagine why somebody would do something like this to himself. The haunted home, replete with the furnishings and trappings of the time, has held a certain fascination for years because of the grisly crime committed there and the fact it remains unsolved. Larson himself has refused to speak about the matter. I hope you enjoyed this true crime and mystery with the sarcastic diabetic about the Villisca axe murder house. If you have, please like, subscribe, and share this video. And until next time, be the reason someone gets drunk today.